Hello, hello. Okay, yeah. So what we're doing, guys, we're experimenting. It's like this big great experiment here to see, are we actually going to end up, and we are on YouTube. So Miss Misty and I, neither of us have ever done this before. So we're kind of making it up as we go along. Yeah, but Misty, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right for it being it's like a second first day back. So we kind of do the first day back in two different rounds with the half starting up, but then this week all of our classes start up.
Mm.
So this is our first full week back. It's not the first day where like we get donuts and all of that. It's the first like real day back.
Do you get donuts on the first day?
We do. I almost forgot this year until we were like halfway through our list, and Ilsa said, "Don't we usually have donuts?" Yes, I was just gonna go get those. Be right back.
See, in my house, the entire family has to go and get the donuts. Like everybody has to go. No, yeah, yeah. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Okay, good. I'm glad it's not just us who goes and gets donuts. Um, well, welcome to the Teachers Lounge. This is something new that Misty and I are trying, and we're not promising anything with this one. This was totally an impromptu idea, and we're going to see how it goes and see like if you like it, if we like it, what's the deal. But we are going to be going live on YouTube and Crowdcast and yeah, just a few other places, and just seeing how it goes. But my name is Pam Barnhill, and I'm a homeschool mom, and I have a podcast called Your Morning Basket, which is all about bringing some truth, goodness, and beauty to your homeschool day with a morning basket. Misty?
Yes, and I am Misty Winkler, and I am a homeschool mom, second generation homeschooler, and I have a graduate now. So, whew, I'm not even homeschooling all of my kids anymore. I'm done with some of them.
I'm so jealous.
And my homeschool is on the shrinking mode, not the growing mode anymore. And I also podcast and my podcast is called Simply Convivial. And it's not only homeschooling, it's more about managing all of the plates that we have spinning in life as busy moms. One of those plates might be homeschooling, it might not, but there are all kinds of plates to spin and juggle. So
Oh, love it. So helpful. Okay, so kind of the idea behind this, guys, is we're just going to kind of debrief a little bit about our week, and then through the year, if we keep going, talk about different things we have going on. We're going to start off by sharing a little bit of our curriculum and stuff at the beginning of the year and talking about what we're doing. And then, we'll just kind of see where it takes us. And I told Misty, like, this is my bad time of day in front of my window. So,
you're gonna have to change your angle.
something. I want to redo my office anyway. So here's the excuse to my husband is I have to redo the office because I need to sit somewhere else. So, but yeah, so let's talk about back to school. So you said this was your first day. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this feels like a bad year to start just talking about how we started school because it's like the least prepared I've ever been for a school year ever.
Me too. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm right there with you. Like all the procedure lists are not done.
So we usually do a year-round schedule. We usually start in July, have 2 terms or a full term before starting up our classes, and then break for Thanksgiving through New Year, and we finish up in May. We finished up in May last year, and then we had missionary friends on furlough in July, and so we just wanted to leave our July open and available, so we didn't start school back. I scheduled 2 weeks of a summer term. Well, first I tried 4, and then I wrote like the weekend before that 4th, or we were supposed to start. I was like, it's not happening. So I made it 2 weeks of a summer term. So 2 weeks ago, we did do a back to school week, and that was our first week. But I was out of town that Friday. So it was a 4-day week, and we didn't really wrap things up at the end of the week. And then the week I came back, and last week we really just did math. All we did was math because the summer break was just too long. We were out of it. Like math took the whole day. I was like, just forget it. We're gonna only do math this week. So we did that. I think people are back up to speed and have remembered about keeping digits in the right place and all of that. And we're back to a full week with classes 3 days a week in our home. Other people coming to our house this week.
So you jumped from just math to a full load in 1 week? Are you at a full load?
We are, I think. But we did do that first week, which was our independent thing. So I did have a week where we tried out the assignments and they got familiar with what they were going to be doing. Because I think that's important before starting up everything all at once. Is some of those new assignments, the new books and how things are going to go, to just have a few of those to start off with, to get the hang of them and to see if the checklist assignment makes sense to them and all of that. So we did have that, then a week of just math, and then now we're back at it.
Okay. So we normally too start in July. And I say that we do that because it is so hot here in Alabama that honestly, July and August are just about not fit for anything other than staying inside, and maybe swimming a little bit. Right. And so we normally start in July, but all of the homeschool conventions got pushed to July and August. So, from like the 8th of July until this week, every other weekend, I've had a homeschool convention. And so, like when people come to a homeschool convention, they're like, oh, it's Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. So it's like the weekend. But for us, we travel on Wednesday, and get back exhausted on Sunday night. And so, it really does kind of mess up a whole week. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to start yet, but it was just really stretching later and later. So the kids actually started with the math tutor at the beginning of August, and they have all been doing the math tutor. Now they haven't been doing anything in between. They've just been meeting with the tutor. And so my daughter does that twice a week, and then each of my sons do it once a week. And I have not been standing over them saying, let's do math in between the time, right? And then last Wednesday, we did our first day of school. And basically, we did morning time in math. And my daughter practiced piano. And that was it. So we did that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then today, we did the same thing. And tomorrow. And then the rest of the week, I told my husband, I'm like, well, why don't you wake them up on time? Because he won't do morning time with them with me not here. So I'm like, why don't you wake them up on time and keep them in the habit of waking up? He says, well, I can do some dad school, which is basically like probably watching Lord of the Rings. The extended version. It's more educational.
And that's because you have another conference this week, right?
Yes, that's because I have another conference this week. So even though when we get back next week, I do not anticipate, and I can talk more about this next week, but I do not anticipate being up to a full load yet. So, but yes, morning time has been lovely though.
Well, and I should say, I don't think that we would be trying for a full load if I still also had a high schooler. It would be like maybe just a high schooler figuring out. But my oldest is graduated. My second is now in the Running Start program. So I'm not doing his school and his classes haven't started. So I just have the younger three, 8th grade, 6th grade, and 3rd grade. So they don't have that, it's not that intense.
There's not a lot of intensity. And so tell everybody what Running Start is, because I have to tell you that's just a Washington thing. Yeah. Right. Well, it's not a Washington thing. Yeah, but it's a term. Yeah.
It's the name of our dual enrollment program where high schoolers can enroll in the community college for free. and get their high school credit through the community college. So from junior and senior year, that's what my high schoolers have done full-time for their junior and senior year.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's basically dual enrollment. Now, Sarah asked a question, because if we're going to be on Crowdcast, we sometimes have to answer these questions. The soft start things, like, do you have a planner where you track what you do? I don't, because nobody makes me track anything. All I do is plan ahead. Like, this is what I'm going to do here. And I don't keep track of anything unless like, and even for high school, it's like, I have all these things you're going to do for high school. If you do them, okay. So I don't really track. Do you?
Yeah. Like for the state, I don't track attendance or what counts as school days or no.
I do track attendance. Yeah. Except I haven't yet. That it's really bad. But I have it right here in my book. So we were going to talk a little bit about morning time today and what our morning baskets look like. So this is a good transition to that, because I have my morning basket binder here, and I have printed out my handy dandy attendance tracking form, and I have it in my binder. And so I should actually get on marking down what we've done. So, but yeah, you want me to go ahead and go and share a little bit about our morning time?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think you should start with how old your kids are.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So my kids are 16, 14, and 11. And right now, morning time is taking up about 45 minutes of our day, but it's probably going to stretch to an hour when it's all said and done. And so I've got my little plan here. So we do prayer together, memory work, CNN 10, but he's not back yet. So I don't think he comes back until after Labor Day. We're reading Narnia together this year, which my older two kids, I think, have listened. I know my daughter has listened to all the books, and I think that my 14-year-old has as well, but my 11-year-old has not. And so I thought this will be a great family thing. You know, Cindy Rollins is always saying, we'll always have Narnia. So I'm like, let's just do it together as a family. And then we're reading some history stuff, which is largely for the youngest guy, because the older two are actually doing more history. And then we're doing fine arts loop. And so our loop subjects are American art, folk music, some stuff from our explorations that we have in the Your Morning Basket Plus membership, and then some American music. I have a lesson plan list from our early modern history plans, and we're going to be going through the American music. And it's not the most singable music, but it is historical music. And so since we do like to sing folk songs, I wanted to have folk songs be different than our American music studies that we're doing. So I've kind of got two different things of music going on there. And so the one set of music is very much historical music from the American Revolution. So like the Foggy, Foggy Dew, Springfield Mountain, Hail Columbia, the Liberty Song. So those are some pieces. Jenny Shaw, who writes our music for our plans, actually wrote these plans. And so that's going to be lots of fun for us to listen to. So that's in the loop. And I have this set, and this came from the National Endowment for the Humanities, and another homeschooler had it before I did. And it's a picture study set about American art. And look at this. It comes with these prints.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So there's like
That's
huge
cool.
prints that you can hang on the wall. See, it's hard to see them. And they start with like Native American art and go like all the great American artists and stuff like that. And then there's a teacher's resource book, which honestly, how I'll use it is I will probably just kind of skim down and pull out some of the most interesting facts. And then there are some questions over here that I think are worthy of asking. You know, so like, how did N.C. Wyeth show distance and space in this painting? Describe what this character's doing. How did he create a unified landscape? So just things to make us look at the pictures a little bit more. So we're going to be using that this year as part of our fine arts loop. I mentioned reading Narnia. And so we're starting with The Magician's Nephew. We have our memory work from IEW, the Linguistic Development Through Poetry Memorization. We have that. And then for history reading, I picked up a couple of books. And I can't remember the names of them now. It's one of those places that prints the out-of-print books. Is it something
like Forgotten Classics?
Yeah, Forgotten Classics or something. So since this is primarily the 11-year-old's history, and I have to tell you, the 11-year-old does not like history. So I got this America First 100 Stories, 100 Stories from Our Own History. And it was by Lawton B. Evans. And I got it from, and they've been really interesting. So going for a more story approach, even with 11-year-old, because history is just not his thing. So I'm just trying to spark that interest for him. So we're reading that in morning time, and everybody's listening because I have to say, none of my kids like history. And so I'm hoping to kind of spark some interest there with that. And then for folk songs, we're using Music in Your Homeschool, Gina Mayo's A Folk Song a Week. And so far we've done When the Saints Go Marching In, and we just started She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain today. And the kids love that stuff. They love to sing the folk songs. They love to listen to the different versions. They like the music. So yeah, that's our morning time. Yeah. Oh, and we use our Hallow Prayer app, and it usually has like a gospel reading or a saint of the day or something like that. So we have a little bit of instruction and exposition, with that. So
yeah, cool.
So what about you, Misty?
Well, I think I should start by saying our normal family morning time that we start the day with is kind of like our morning time part A. And then some of the things that are morning time things we do together with other homeschoolers twice a week. So the things like the history and the like Shakespeare and fine arts stuff, we do it like a morning time, but we also do it with other people. So our family all together daily morning time is focused mostly on singing together and praying together and memorizing things together. And it's between 30 and 45 minutes. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and this is one of the things that's going to be starting up this week, we'll have two other families that will come, and we used to call it elementary lessons, but now I have middle school lessons, which is not as easy to, like we said, it was EL.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No. So my friend Kirsty has elementary lessons, and she gets the 8 and 9-year-old. And the friend's 7-year-old. So she'll have a 7, 8, and 9-year-old, and I will have a number of 11-year-olds, 3 11-year-olds, and 2 13-year-olds for middle school lessons. And my earpods are going to fall out. There we go.
That was loud. I can still hear you, but with the one that fell, it was really loud.
Sorry.
You want to reach and get it?
Nah, we'll leave it.
Okay. So, okay. One of the question I have for you is Kirsty, we actually did a podcast on Your Morning Basket about elementary lessons a number of years ago. I'll have to find that. But is Kirsty using your plans from back then, or is she coming up with her own things?
Well, we figured out together the history book and the science books. And then I think she's pretty much just going to read a chapter and maybe have them draw or write something, but it's super informal. That doesn't really require a spreadsheet or a plan, really. I was like, okay, just read some of this book and have them do something, and read this book and have them do something. And we are supposed to meet for a walk today to see if like she needs anything else or is going to do anything else. Because like I said, least planned school year ever. So we're still ironing out some of those details. Yeah. But in the middle school lessons, we're going to be watching some of the history lessons from Roman Roads Media. They have Dave Raymond's, there's an ancient history now. So my high schoolers used Dave Raymond's modernity history.
Okay. Yeah.
He has modernity and he has American, but now there's also an ancient. And so we're going to watch those as our main history, and we're just going to do it all together and then talk about it for a little bit after. And then what else are we going to do? We haven't done it yet, so it's a little bit like, We're going to do some art, but I haven't quite nailed that down. And our first one's tomorrow. And we're going to do Shakespeare.
Okay, so which Shakespeare are you doing?
I think we're going to start with Hamlet. We're going to do, since I only have middle schoolers now and it's not such a big spread with the youngers also mixed in there, I'm going to do some of the meatier, heavier Shakespeare. So we're going to do Hamlet, Macbeth, and we've never done Othello. I haven't done Othello. So those are the three. We usually only do 3 a year. We take them all slowly.
So that was one of the things that I realized was I do not have a Hamlet. I do not have a and I kind of, but it's so much more fun to do it with somebody, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so, but I'm not necessarily willing to do a class for everybody. So I don't know what to do. It's like, okay, I got to figure out what can I do for Shakespeare to really, and what we might end up doing is I really just need to wait and see what the Alabama Shakespeare Festival is doing, because we actually have a really great Shakespeare troupe here in Alabama, and like figure out what they're doing and just say, okay, we're going to, instead of saying we're studying Shakespeare, we're going to prepare ourselves to go watch this play. And then take the 2 older ones, especially maybe the younger one, I don't know, but especially the 2 older ones down to see the play, whichever one they come up with. So we'll prepare ourselves ahead of time, maybe memorize a few passages, get the gist of everything, read through it, using probably an archangel, since that my one kid is dyslexic, and so it's a little bit harder for him, so we'd probably use an audio and then watch it. So following Misty's Shakespeare plans, pretty much.
That's right. I mean, I always use audio, and then we follow along while listening to the dramatized audio version. I think it works really well.
Yeah So I think it's good when you have good readers to let some of the kids read if they're interested. We've had some co-op situations before where kids read with accents or something like that, but
that's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, the dramatized audio works great. So yeah. So you don't do a lot of new planning for your morning time. It sounds like you just kind of roll in with what you've done before, or are you still switching out memory work?
Pretty, this year for like our family morning time, I've not had any poetry plan that has stuck since I stopped the binders about 3 years ago. But at this point in time, because we've been doing this for so long, I kind of have the material, like the Bible and catechism, and like the poetry was less organized, but I have what I want us all to memorize and that we did with the older kids, but now with the younger set. It's like, I don't need to pick new things. We just need to do it often enough. But since they aren't new, we haven't like been repeating the same thing every day for 6 weeks like I did at the beginning. It's more like this is our limited loop, and we just loop through all of them all the time. So I don't know. Well, it's fine. And I just ended up using the exact same loop lists for morning time as I did last year, and I didn't change anything up, mostly because my planning time was limited. And I'm like, you know what, this was good. Let's just keep doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just keep moving forward with what you got. So yeah.
But both you and Brandy said that you loved the what is it? The IEW poetry.
Yes. Yeah. Dawn Garrett too. Linguistic development through poetry memorization. Yep.
Yes. So I got that, and we're doing that. And the cool thing, every year my kids have been resistant to poetry. And I got the program, and it has the little notebook. And we just, on our first morning time, I just kind of randomly picked 3 or 4 different poems that, and Andrew Pudwa reads them. And for some reason, they just found his reading of them so entertaining that they are all on board. And last year we did poetry like on audio from an audiobook, and they were like, and but Andrew Pudwa on audio, suddenly
there you go.
They were just cracking up.
So, that's funny. Okay, so we don't use the little book and we don't use the audio. I just have the teacher book, and actually that was one of the places where mine is, I cut the binding off, and I have the new version, but I haven't really cracked it out of the thing. But here, like, mine is in the page protectors because it was getting kind of so grimy. But then, so we do like a page at a time. But then also I have, I've stuck other things in here as well. So like there's some Shakespeare in here from Misty's website, and there's some things in here from our morning time plans. And so like, yeah. So I took mine and put it in page protectors, but my kids don't read as we do it. I just say it, and they listen. Though the new thing this year is they've decided they need to take the book, because I use the book as a crutch too much. So they've decided they need to take the book from me and have them be the ones that lead it, which I think is a great idea, except for one of them was leading it today. And I'm like, look, if you're going to lead, you've got to lead it. You've got to really not just sit there and wait and see if other people know it. We're going to sit here all day, right? You've got to really like read and lead it. And so once he started doing that, then it got better. So that's been interesting.
That's when you can get them taking initiative on things. That is just hopeful. It's just better, even if it's not the plan that you would make up yourself.
Yeah. So, well, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. So we plan on being back next week. I will be really tired and not have a whole lot of new homeschool stuff to report, quite honestly, because gonna be gone for most of this week. But I think we should talk maybe language arts next week. What do you think?
That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be good. And I will have taught 2 grammar lessons and a writing class by that time. So
we can get a report.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. We can get a report. We'll share what we're going to be doing with language arts, and we'll let Misty carry the flag next week, since I am going to be the slacking homeschool mom as the week goes on, through no fault of my own. So, So thank you so much for joining me. Somebody asked, are the replays going to be available? And we're going to put them on YouTube. And so we're going to have a playlist, and you'll be able to, we're going to take turns whose channel we put them on. But if we put them on a shared playlist and put the shared playlist on each of our pages on YouTube, you'll be able to find them from either channel. Having said that, I really think you should subscribe to both of us. So that way you never miss anything, and you get all the other great stuff we're putting on YouTube. So we would love to invite you to subscribe to both me and Misty on YouTube over there. So Misty, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Pam. This was fun.
Yeah. See you guys next week.